Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on the channel, Mr. Football and Loons, and today I'm doing Game Week 28 predictions of the Premier League, and they're going to be starting off on the 9th of March. It's at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United versus Everton, and will Everton 22 shots, 11 on target against West Ham United, only one goal scored. Their first ever penalty in the Premier League this season was missed by Everton. You know what, Everton, they're playing some good football. They're creating loads and loads and loads of chances, but they're not putting them away, they're not finishing their beans. When Manchester United obviously have lost the last two games, but they have been missing Hojlund, which is a huge one because I believe he's still missing coming into this game. I believe he returns after this game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Manchester United, they actually had a really good plan going against Manchester City. Nearly worked, but it was good that they had a plan. That's good. They had a structured plan, and it nearly worked. They were 1-0 up. Marcus Rashford, rocket of a goal. And you know what? Manchester United at home, I'm going to say Everton. They're going to have more shots on target. But at the end of it, Manchester United will win. Everton have dominated teams, but still came away with a loss. Because Manchester United at home, because they're starting to change in terms of their confidence and everything, in without Hojlund, I'm going to say Manchester United to just about win this. Wouldn't be surprised for a draw. I'm going 2-1 to Manchester United come the final whistle. Moving on to the next games at Selhurst Park. It's Crystal Palace versus Luton Town. And well, Luton Town, they're performing fantastic. But still, you know, they're performing well, but they're not doing enough. They seem to always concede late on. They always have late drama against them. Poor Luton Town, because I've got a soft spot for them. Because I just love the fight and the story Luton Town have going up all the divisions. It's sensational. I really do like Luton Town, and they're facing Crystal Palace, which have their new manager Oliver Glanzer. 3-0 win against Burnley, and they lost it 3-1 against Spuds. Although for the first 78 minutes, fantastic, the hold of Spuds off, couldn't hold it off for the rest of the game, but still 78 minutes not conceded against that Spurs attack is amazing for Crystal Palace considering how bad they were. So I don't see them losing this, especially at home. But Luton Town, they are really, really good. But I feel like they'll be 2-1 up Luton Town to right at the last minute. Well, Crystal Palace will get an equaliser. You know what? I cannot split the sides. So I'm going down the middle. I'm going 2-2 come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game. It's at the Vitality Stadium. It's AFC Bournemouth versus Sheffield United. And well, Sheffield United got battered. Indeed, 6-0 against Arsenal. Absolute battering. Yet again, getting another battering. 6 more goals conceded. Absolutely terrible, Sheffield United. In my opinion, and probably the majority of opinions, Sheffield United are relegated. Surely they are. And facing Bournemouth, you know what? Bournemouth, they got 2-0 against Burnley. Maybe it deserved to be more of a draw, Bournemouth, but Bournemouth still managed to get it over the line. They won at 2-0. They're definitely a better team than Sheffield United. Considering Bournemouth at home, they're higher up in the table. Sheffield United are getting battered. I'm going to say Bournemouth to win this, for them to keep a bit of a winning streak. And I'm going to say it's going to be 3-1 to Bournemouth quite comfortably come the final whistle. Moving on to the next games at the Molineux Stadium. It's Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Fulham. And in my opinion, this game, behind the scenes, was the hardest game to predict out of all of them. You might not agree, but to me, it's really hard to predict. Now, Wolves lost it 3-0 against Newcastle United. But previous results have been pretty decent other than the 2-0 loss against Brentford. They won it against Spuds. They're doing pretty well. Both teams are mid-table. This looks like it's going to be a draw, but there's probably a reason to why Wolves lost 3-0, and it's probably because their front three were all injured. Pedro Neto, Hwang Hee-chan and Cunha were all injured. And coming into this game, both Hwang Hee-chan and Cunha are injured, but I think Pedro Neto may return. He might be returned. And if so, I feel like Wolves will get a draw. So I am going to predict a draw. Fulham are playing fantastic as well. Let's not exclude them from this. They won a 3-0 against Brighton and Hove Albion. And Brighton are a solid team on the day. Fulham, fantastic. They're really, really performing. And I think both clubs are amazing. I think if there would be a winner, it would probably be Fulham because Cunha and Hwang Hee-chan aren't there. But overall, I am going to go down the middle, and I'm going 1-1 come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, it's at the Emirates Stadium. It is Arsenal versus Brentford. And well, this is another London derby, and Arsenal are battering teams. They're just battering teams. They are probably the most informed side because they're battering all sorts of clubs. They're battering clubs that are in 20th, Sheffield United. They're battering clubs that are in 7th, West Ham. They battered Newcastle 4-1. They're battering every single club. And they also did very well against Liverpool 3-1. Again, Arsenal at home facing Brentford. Brentford are a good team, but facing Arsenal, you know, even Liverpool lost 3-1 against them, especially at home. Sorry, Brentford, but you're definitely not winning this. Now, I'm going to go for 3-1 to Arsenal come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, it's a whole new day. It's the 10th of March. It's at Villa Park. It's Aston Villa versus Tottenham Hotspur. And well, Tottenham Hotspur won at 3-1, only just about, because the first 78 minutes, like I mentioned earlier on, as you probably know, they didn't score. They were 1-0 down after 78 minutes. But when they got the first initial goal, they were going full on. And Timo Werner gets his first goal. Congratulations to him, because he's actually been playing really well in more of the left wing position. Much better. He's not really a goal scorer. He always seems, you know, it doesn't seem natural in a goal scoring position. But he does well to get assists, and he's a playmaker, you know, but that's very good. Spurs attack, fantastic. They score goals. They've also conceded quite a bit. And Aston Villa, they're known for scoring goals. So put the puzzles together. It's going to be a high-scoring draw because they're so close together. A Champions League battle this is to get the Champions League spots. So because they're so close together on the table, because they both love scoring so many goals, I'm going to go down the middle, and I'm going 3-3 come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, that's at the London Stadium, the mighty London Stadium. It is West Ham United versus Burnley. And well, Burnley, I've backed them up in the last few weeks, and they have disappointed me with loss after loss after loss. They lost at 2-0 against Bournemouth, but you know what? I thought Burnley played alright. Again, this has happened in many games where they've lost and drew, where they probably performed good enough to at least get a point or 3 points in multiple occasions this season. And if they did at those times, I would say they'll be in like 18th, 17th in the same position with Luton Town and Nottingham Forest. But instead, they're not scoring enough. They're definitely not scoring enough, and they're conceding too much from set pieces. You know, it's not good from Burnley. Now, I was really tempted to say 1-1, but I said last week that I'm going to stop backing up Burnley if they disappoint me again. And they disappointed me, so I'm not going to say 1-1. I'm going to go for West Ham, which have won the last couple of games. Maybe it should have been a bit more of a draw against Everton, but hey-ho, they'll take a win. I'm going to back at West Ham, only just about. 2-1 come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, is at the Amex Stadium. It's Brighton and Hove Albion versus Nottingham Forest. And well, Brighton, they lost it 3-0 against Fulham. And I believe Mitoma's injured for quite a while. That's a huge loss for Brighton and De Zerbi's side. De Zerbi was absolutely gutted. He was hiding behind his hood as the manager. It must be frustrating. But Brighton, the pattern, if you look at the pattern, if you really look, they have been battered and straight away go on and batter another team. So I think they will not quite batter Nottingham Forest, but they'll straight away bounce back. They're always great at bouncing back from big defeats. Shown last season and shown this season as well. Multiple examples. So I am going to go for Brighton, but there's been some crazy scorelines this season with loads of goals. Now I know Nottingham Forest did really well to hold off the attack of Liverpool, and the defence was really good, but Brighton are crazy. They can absolutely destroy the team's defences sometimes, even if they were good the previous week. So I'm going to go for a high-scoring game, but it won't be easy. Nottingham Forest will get a couple of goals, and I'm going 4-2 to Brighton and Hove Albion. Moving on to the next game, it's at Anfield. It's Liverpool versus Manchester City. A title clash here between two huge clubs, first and second. By far the biggest game of the week so far. Liverpool versus Manchester City. Now, I am tempted to go for a draw because both teams are first and second, but I might be edging towards the home side. I'll get onto that now. Liverpool, I believe Mohamed Salah should be fit and ready for this game. So should Curtis Jones. So should Gravenberch. They've already won the Carabao Cup, and it's Jurgen Klopp's last season with Liverpool. I feel like because it's Jurgen Klopp's last season with Liverpool, he's going to push and push, and the team's going to push because of it in spirit. And because they're at home with the home fans, Liverpool's still doing fantastic. I think they'll win this game against Manchester City. Okay, But obviously, Phil Foden is absolutely sensational. Probably the best Premier League player at the moment. Scored a couple of goals in the last game. He's absolutely on fire for Manchester City. Honestly, it could go either way, but I'm backing up Liverpool. I back up Liverpool to win the league title, so I'm going to have to back them up to win this game. So I'm going 2-1 just about to Liverpool come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, it's a whole new day. It's the 11th of March, Monday night, 8 PM. It's at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea versus Newcastle United. Newcastle United finally a clean sheet. Great defensive structure and lightning counter-attacks just like it was last season. Lightning counter-attacks, straight away breaks away. Absolutely sensational. And well, Newcastle United, maybe it might have been a different story if it wasn't for Neto coming off halfway through, and if it wasn't for Hwang-Hee-Chan and Cunha being injured, maybe it might have been different. But I'm just going to say Newcastle United, we're improving. Trippier has had a bit of a knock. Don't know whether he's going to be available for this game, but Livramento is also a great player, so I don't think it's much of a loss if Newcastle have Livramento. But Chelsea, on the other hand, they drew at 2-2 against Brentford. Same old Chelsea, you know, mid-table. They're just mid-table, and Newcastle are pushing for European football. Chelsea should be as well, but they're just not performing well enough. And in my opinion, the way Newcastle performed against Wolves is better than Chelsea performing against Brentford. So overall, I think Newcastle is just a bit better. Could be a bit biased as I am a Newcastle fan. So I'm going to go 1-0 to Newcastle United come the final whistle. But you thought it was over, but no, we do have an extra little game there because obviously what happened to Tom Lockyer, it got postponed. It is from game week 17. It is AFC Bournemouth at the Vitality Stadium versus Luton Town, and it's on the 13th of March. And I'm going to say Luton Town to win this. I didn't back them up to win in the game against Crystal Palace this video, so I'm going to back them up here, and I feel like they're going to stay up. I said at the start of the season they're going to finish in 17th, so they're going to finish in 17th. And I know Bournemouth are a pretty decent side, but Luton are going to have to win eventually, and eventually it's going to come. I'm going to say 2-1 to the away side Luton Town. And well, who's my goal of game week 27? And well, this one's very hard. There was like 4 fantastic goals. Souček's goal for West Ham United, Phil Foden's goal and Marcus Rashford's goal. Absolutely amazing goals. Then you got Wissa trying to do the bicycle kick. Had 3 attempts at it. Final attempt, he managed to score a bicycle kick. So out of, I would say, the top 3, probably Marcus Rashford, Phil Foden and Johan Wissa was probably my goal of game week 27. But I can't really split on who to actually pick. So I'm going to pick all 3 of them. A triple one. They were so good. So those are my goals of game week 27. And how did I do in game week 27? Well, I got 6 points out of 20 points. I didn't get many 1-pointers, whether win, draw or lose. But I did get 2 exactly spot on. I got Arsenal winning at 6-0 against Sheffield United. Absolutely spot on. And Aston Villa winning 3-2 at Kenilworth Road against Luton Town. Spot on, with obviously a couple of win, draw, or lose. So it's an alright week, 6 points out of 20. Overall, that does put me on 163 points out of 536 points. And hopefully you did enjoy this video. And if you did enjoy the video, then amazing. That means why don't you check out my other videos, such as my FC24 series. It's pretty cool. My Creator Club series. Go on, clickety click. Come on, I know you want to. You like football, you probably like FC24. Toodle pip.